Without saying that really the star of the show as ever for me was none other than Catherine, the Princess of Wales, at this ongoing state visit for, of course, President Macron and his wife Brigitte Macron. I tell you what I find odd. It's a very strange relationship, isn't it, between the president and his wife. Everybody now has seen the snub when she was getting off the plane, you know. Oh, I bet she's quite feisty. What we are seeing, of course, though, is very much breaking out of royal protocol between the Prince and Princess of Wales, Catherine and William. What I like about them is you can genuinely see there's a friendship. And I don't mean that in a, but there is a friendship. They're working together. They understand each other. She doesn't have to tap him on the back to say shut up or grasp him like some mechanical arm, come away, that sort of thing. I'm doing the talking. They're both very respectful of each other. A lot of people were slightly put out, by the way, a bit this picture of President Macron winking to the Princess of Wales. I would have liked to have seen the other reaction, like of Catherine, like what, like what's he doing? Of course, no picture of Brigitte in the background either. Let's not even get there with, of course, the controversy regarding the speech, His Majesty the King and President Macron. Oh yes, behind gated encloves, of course, things are totally different. But here's where things are totally different if you are Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and of course the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle. Let me explain. Morning, chums. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm glad we all hit a nerve, by the way, about when I mentioned fruit pastels and, of course, fruit gums. You're with me. They're not as nice, are they? It's like, I know we say this often here on the show, but they're just not as tasty as they were. And you remember, they were a lot bigger, a lot fruitier, and you come away thinking, oh yeah, I'll buy another one. You're just now buying things on a daily basis and thinking, well, I won't buy that again. Yeah. Do you do that though? As I mentioned, there's so many things now. I should be like, olive oil. I mean, I've cut down on so many things because you just think, I don't like it anymore. It's tasteless, And I love the thing with Cadbury's where they say a glass and a half on the brand. Don't say a glass and a half of what? You used to say milk. Remember, just leave that there. Now, somebody, of course, who was always on trend is none other than Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Just looks elegant. I mean, she helps, of course, that she's got a fabulous sort of height and that really gives her a stature. But as you can see, she was dressed beautifully in Dior for that state visit and the arrival. And what was interesting, I think, is that a lot of commentators were saying, oh, this is Dior 1947. I just thought it looked classy. I've told you before, I know nothing about fashion, right, chums? But if you just look at somebody, you think that to me looks like a 19 sort of golden age Hollywood glamour picture. You could imagine Rita Hayworth in that, or Betty Davis. They looked elegant, and Catherine looked elegant, right? But here's what you don't know, because if you remember, you see, as I say, this is now, the very first time really in public that Catherine has worn a big Dior outfit. And we know that Meghan Markle desperately tried to get in on Dior a couple of years back, failing miserably. But then they sort of clutched it back by dressing, some might say rather badly, none other than Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, for the coronation. He turned up looking like he'd been ironed with a steamroller, remember. But what was interesting about that was they then put up on social media, we were thrilled to dress Prince Harry for the coronation, etc. And as I told you at the time, they would have only done that if, two things, he'd have allowed that, must have sanctioned that, and they must have given him that outfit for free, because that's their pay, right? Because if not, they would have been told to turn it down, take it down, but they didn't. Now, here's where this is interesting, because you will notice that they did no such thing for Catherine, the Princess of Wales. I can tell you 100% that that was never, ever going to be allowed. And actually, from an excellent source, they just reiterated that Catherine was more than happy to wear Dior. But as we pointed out before, Kensington Palace do not really want to list where the clothes are from, because they want the focus to be either on the charity or the event in question. But when it's that stylish, people work it out very cleverly. There's lots of good fashionistas out there that know instantly what Catherine's wearing. But as I said, unlike Prince Harry, where Dior capitalised and made quite a few bits of money out of that through, people clicking on, etc. Well, no such thing with Catherine, the Princess of Wales. So much so, I can tell you this, that Catherine now is looking at other options to wear from Dior in the future. You see how this, if you do it cleverly and right, can actually do your brand a lot of good. Meghan spouting out to other people saying they're interested in me, they backed off. Catherine, as ever, some might say, is doing it the classier and more professional way. What do you think to this particular story, as ever, in the comments below? And if you can, do like and share. Neil Sean, Kensington.